take control of your finances. Gain insights from top industry professionals. Financial topics that matter to you from your go-to resource. This is Right on the Money with your host, Dennis Mattern.
Hello and welcome to Right on the Money, the show that features financial advisors, insurance professionals, and fiduciaries who discuss financial topics that empower you to take control of your finances. I'm your host, Dennis Mattern, and we are so glad you've taken time out of your day to spend with us. Now, of course, remember you can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel or rightonthemoneyshow.com. Now, today I am pleased to be joined by our friend Rob Barden, investment advisor representative at Carlson Financial Services. Rob, great to have you here.
Great to be here.
Now, we've been talking with the rest of the staff of Carlson Financial, and we've talked and explored the idea of stewardship as it comes to our finances.
Sure.
And an area that we're going to dive in, you and I, I'm really excited to talk about this, is financial unity in a Christian marriage. And that is such an amazing topic because I know that when it comes to finances and relationships, it can get kind of sticky and kind of rough. What is the importance of this topic as it relates to biblical financial stewardship and the workshops you do?
Absolutely, yeah. So in the workshops, we're going to be focusing on how to build an open communication stream in marriage as we talk about finances. One of the biggest reasons for divorce right now is finances, and that tends to come from the fact that the husband and the wife don't really communicate well, or their goals aren't aligned when it comes to what they want to see done with the pocketbook.
So Rob, I have to ask you, the first thing right off the bat is that's such a big topic, finance and marriage. And just like you said, it is a big a spot where couples come in to bump heads.
Yeah.
Where do you even start that kind of dialogue?
Yeah, oftentimes the dialogue starts with finding out kind of who's running the budget, who's running the numbers. One spouse or the other tends to be the analytical, mathematical mind in the family.
Yeah.
And the other spouse oftentimes doesn't really know or have an understanding of what's going on with the budget, with the cash flow, or even with the long-term retirement planning strategies that they have in place. So what we want to do is to create a platform where we can talk about what they want to see done, what their spending goals are for the next 6 to 12 months, what their goals are for the next 1 to 5 years. What those goals may be for their kids' education and what their retirement planning goals may be.
That's so important because, I can think of my relationship and how we came to understand money. And then I've got friends where one spouse or the other, and it's not gender assigned, somebody usually is just better at it.
Yep.
And then sometimes you run into the situation where somebody just give me an allowance, I don't care.
Yeah.
So with that conversation, is it a lot of times you work with newlyweds, if you will? Or?
We'll work with anyone, but oftentimes with folks that are merging two financial households, these questions have to be asked. Their family background, their understanding of money, their understanding of stewardship and how that relates to what they should do with their assets could be very different. And so it's critical that we align that. Marriages don't work if they're not based on unity. We see that in Scripture, we see that in Ephesians 5. And so helping these younger folks knit together what they want to see done with their assets so that it brings joy to the marriage and not contention is exactly what we're trying to do.
Laying a plan out has got to take a lot of stress off a young couple.
We hear that a lot. Typically, once we get to a point where they see that they have aligned those goals, their spending and savings goals are something that they're talking about frequently, if not weekly, and they're getting more of a proactive approach to what are we going to do with our dollars rather than, hey, where did you spend those dollars last month? Tends to bring a lot of joy and a lot of peace to their financial home.
So what are some specific areas where couples experience challenges?
Great question. I think the first one is the budget. Some folks don't even have one, so it's critical that we help them determine what the inflows and the outflows with their cash flow management looks like. And then inside of that, earmarking dollars for specific spending goals. I personally love to bass fish, so most of my extra spending goes towards that. My wife could care nothing more about bass fishing. She likes to do other things like get massages or get her hair done.
Yeah.
But helping couples.
Me too.
Yeah, it's perfect. It looks great today, by the way.
Thank you.
It's critical for folks to realize what they want to spend their money on and then having an open line of communication around the budget in order to not, get too frustrated when they see something on the credit card statement from the previous month. A few other areas as we talk about with couples, where they can get into trouble or some things that could cause issues. Really, education expenses for their kids. If they have younger kids and they're thinking about, are we paying for school from a college tuition standpoint? Is it going to be public or private? Is it in-state or out-of-state? And helping them frame the questions to best fill in what they want to do from a planning area.
Well, talk about a timely topic when the expense of going to college is so high.
So expensive, right?
But if you could plan early, it's much better.
Yeah.
So tell me about this. What type of advice do you give as it relates to communication? Because this really is a great. I see that this is so much more than just money. I see a lot of good you're doing for relationships.
Yeah, we have to cover the financial topic so we know what we're talking about, right? But a big piece of it is taking them to Scripture, and you see from Scripture that we're supposed to be slow to speak, slow to anger, but quick to listen. We see that we're supposed to be gentle and soft with our words. With our spouse, we're supposed to be selfless and loving and put them first. And so a big part of helping folks work through these hurdles is saying, hey, set aside a time weekly where you put everything else on the back burner. Sit down, pray together, talk about where you are financially, talk about what you want to see done over the next month or so. Make sure you're hitting the numbers in the budget, and if you're not, then gently discuss where you're missing the mark, and then try to get a better mark on paper so that you can continue to hit that next time. I typically tell folks too, once we get the budget set up and we're doing these meetings, if you're hitting that budget, 7 to 8 months out of 12, that's great.
Yeah.
Don't be too frustrated with that, because things are going to come along, and how you react to that and do that in unity and oneness in marriage is huge.
If you didn't get it this month,
you get another shot.
You can try it next month. So let me ask you this: if I want to sign up for the workshops that you're doing, how does that happen? How do I?
Yeah, so you could give us a call at the office, or if you go onto our website, we've got an events tab, and you can find all of the information on the workshops to sign up there.
Okay, fascinating. Now here's what we're going to do. We've got to take a break. But what I want to talk about next then is, I know that you do a lot of the investment management for the firm. And so we're going to talk about how we incorporate that with our faith and our beliefs. So coming up on Right on the Money, Rob and I are going to discuss investment management, and how we can have our investments match up with our beliefs. So you don't want to miss that. We'll see you on the other side of the break.